At Sleep Outfitters Outlet, great sleep is a big deal. Save 40 to 60% every day on every Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Queens as low as $249. Customer exchanges, closeouts, and floor samples. Inventory changes daily, so come in for your dream deal today. With no credit needed financing, expert advice, and up to 60% off retail, it's never been easier to get the sleep and savings you deserve. Go to sleepoutfittersoutlet.com for financing details and to find a store near you.
Good evening all, and welcome to BB on Blast with me, Lindsay. Now, I seem to have got into the habit of doing my podcast on a Tuesday, which is quite stupid because the main episode is on a Wednesday. But I suppose it's like almost, my podcast is almost a spoiler, which is really weird because I'm used to being so behind the times. But I don't know, this just feels right. I'm not saying I'm sticking to Tuesday, but by Tuesday I've kind of thought of enough things to say by all the pieces I've kind of pulled together. So the last episode I saw was the last week's main episode on Wednesday, most of which we've already discussed, but I suppose notable was Monte saying Justin steals his clothes, he's been shot at. Justin wasn't too happy. He said this was very derogative, which I think you'll agree it was. And Justin calls out Monte and said, "I heard what you said about me, motherfucker," which I liked. And then Justin went out in the garden. He was like lifting weights and praying to Jesus. And he said it's a racial issue. And then Caleb, aka Monte, don't need to know his name anymore, said we're all under the same sun. Oh, that's nice. And he also said, Monte this is, "I'm good looking and good with people." Then Chrissy was disappointed to be a pawn. We'll get used to it because you're a pawn this week, don't you? So then Monte got evicted. He went out with his head held high. Didn't say "fuck you all," which I completely missed. When Cornbread went, that's good though, isn't it? I admire going out and saying "fuck you all." Fuck y'all. Oh God, Monte's eviction. Jesus. They seem to have got rid of the endurance task this year. I think they've just made the interviews the endurance tasks. Like, fucking hell. Proper masochism. Monte looked a bit weird. Like, he looked like he had hives and he had one eye on Dip, one on Dazzle. I think he said something about racism against white people. White people, especially men, are very discriminated against. And he said praise and blame is all the same, which I thought was quite nice. Something you might get in a fortune cookie. And then Monte said, "Best of luck to all the candidates. I hope everyone plays a good, clean, stroke, dirty game." Well, make your mind up. He was basically being like a real creep. Not creep, but he was like on his best behaviour. It reminded me of like when Jay Goody came at the house on CBB after racially abusing Shilpa. It was like cowed, you know. It wasn't Monte's real opinion that he felt bad for things he'd said in the house. It was that someone had told him, you should feel bad about this and like backtrack. But it's not like anyone's watching this show anyway, so you could pretty much say exactly what you like, do what you like, just go on the rampage, no one will ever know. It's perfectly fine. Judy was giving it all yes ma'am and all this crap. Yeah, bollocks. I've written the integrity of the game is shot. I'm not sure if that relates to Monte's interview or something else. That's what happens when you read your notes from a week ago. So the next HOH comp was something to do with a barcode. I've put cheap ass, and measuring a barcode. I have no recollection of this whatsoever. I think I was drunk when I watched this episode. It wasn't even an episode. I was drunk and the episode's like 5 minutes long. Like, how the fuck do you expect me to remember what happened? Do you remember that? I can't remember. Anyway, Scott won. Boo! It was at this point that I decided how much I fucking hate Scott's voice. Something about the tone of his voice. I don't know where he comes from. No offence to anyone who comes from his area. I'm sure you don't sound anything like him. But there's just something about the tone of his voice that really just rubs me up the wrong way. It's like, if you ever watched Big Brother Canada, Ali, I I think it was season 2. Yeah, it was season 2. Just the sound of his voice proper puts me on edge. And Scott's is right up there. And it's not just his voice, is it? Let's be honest. He's like, ugh. He's disgusting. Also, this, like, Mean Girls Alliance, whatever they're called, the plastics, like... I was going to say they know America's not on their side, so why don't they change up their game? But actually, America went after Danielle this week, so what do I know? Oh, yeah, so the plastics called themselves the Ball Smashers. Is that okay? Does that pass the FCC check? Probably, because it's not even on TV. And they said they're the Ball Smashers and they're Virgin King Scott. Oof. So Scott decided he wanted to put Shane and Danielle up, which is fine by me because they're dull as fuck. The only notable thing about Shane is he needs his haircut. And the only notable thing about Danielle is I think a lot of people seem to hate Danielle, but I don't really know why. Like, I've heard people on other podcasts and stuff say, like, oh, she's playing the game too hard, she's doing this. I've not seen her do it. The only thing I've seen her do is, like, frig off with Shane on a trampoline. That's about it. I've put Shane is wearing pedal pushers here. That's not good. Scott drinking Diet Coke is less sexy than John McCrick drinking Diet Coke. Strong words from myself there that I forgot even writing. Oh, this is so annoying. On a little live feed, but I have watched some other live feed this week, by the way. Although admittedly not much. I've probably watched about 3 or 4 hours, which is quite pathetic, really. I'll try and watch some more this week. I've just not really had time. But yeah, on the live feed, it's so annoying. The housemates are basically trying to all cut a deal with America. They're like, oh, America, will you do this for us? Will you do that for us? It's so annoying. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing them talk about America. It's like the fourth wall has been trampled upon and I don't like it. Jason was complaining about people not doing the housework, and he said, I used to live with strippers and even they knew how to clean up after themselves. That's a bit rude. Scott, I noticed, as well as his horrible voice, disgusting face, awful personality, was wearing Crocs, which I forgot what Crocs were called. Apparently they're coming back in this season. I read it in the Heat magazine. Make of that what you will. But, yeah, I forgot what Crocs are called. And BB Moes reminded me, you need to listen to their podcast. It's BBMOES. And they're 2 American gay fellas. Very funny. If you like this, why would you? In fact, forget this. Just go listen to theirs. It's funny. I was like, if you like this, you might like that. No, it's cool. It had like a spirit of like, you know, our podcast. So, yeah, you know what I mean. Jason. Wait, oh yeah, this is off BB Moes. This is a good advertisement for them. They told a story about how Jason said on the live feed that he once went down on a blind girl. And I thought that's a good story because you wouldn't expect Jason to go down on a girl full stop, let alone a blind girl. So that's the sort of stuff you hear on their podcast. If you want to listen to it, I think it's pretty funny. They didn't even sponsor me for that. I just think they're cool. So then Scott was going about nominating Shane and Danielle again. Yeah. Shelby says she wants to work around America's nomination. I'm like, although they did work around it this week because Danielle got nominated, like, it's quite a lot to take on the whole of America, isn't it, in your alliance? Like, even if you are called the Ball Smashers, it's like, just look at Hillary Clinton. She's struggling. I don't know. I would personally work with America and like kiss their ass a little bit more and hope for the best. If you noticed, everyone evicted so far has been a man. That's good. And there was more women in there in the first place, so I'm liking the positive discrimination. Morgan was crying over a jar of pickles. I can't remember why. Was it because she's a have-not? Neely went up to campaign to Scott and she said, I don't think she said this directly to Scott, probably in the DR, about Alex. I want that heifer gone. It's a bit strong. I don't think Alex is even overweight, let alone a heifer. Well, I do like the divide in the house, though. It's like a kind of like a good old-fashioned, like, friendship versus, what's Janelle's team called? It's like that, isn't it? It's like old school, but then you got America involved. pot stirring, and that ruins it. But the thought is there that it is like one side versus the other, which is always nice. Oh yeah, Scott got the care package, and I was thinking, why the fuck would America give Scott the care package? And then I realised it was like it wasn't a good thing for him. It was like a don't care package. I think I've used that before, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But I'll go into what that was a bit later, because I wrote down what the different types of veto was that he got. I noticed on the highlight shows they've got rid of that guy who goes previously on Big Brother, which is annoying. I quite like that. I think bring him back if anything. On Robert's podcast, Glenn, who went out first in BB18, said you weren't allowed to smoke on BB18, which I thought was interesting, because imagine Jason in there not smoking. So I finally got to see some of the longer diary room sessions, and I just want to say thanks to Dr. Detroit, because he hooked me up with some decent high definition diary room sessions and the latest veto comps. So it's good, because it's given me more of a picture on what the hell is actually going on, although still I'm flaying around in the dark. So from the diary rooms, here's what I've concluded, and I watched all the diary rooms that have been shown so far. Shane is really camp. I think Justin versus Monte, their whole beef, reminded me of like Tim Dormer in BB Australia versus Ed, because Ed was like always saying like he's the nice person, I'm a gentleman, blah blah blah, but in reality it was Tim who was like the nice genuine person, and that's what Justin is, like the cool person, whereas Monty's like, oh, he's sexist, he's doing this, he's doing that, and it's actually, no Monty, you're the one who runs over squirrels, so shut the fuck up. Justin's DR's lush. Justin's like going about Jason, we click clack like we've been best friends forever. I love that. He said Christy was hella cool, and he likes Whitney because she folded his drawers for him. He said Shelby was fake. Yep, she is fake because she's a lawyer pretending to be waitress. And this is weird. Then they do this like questions to the house thing where I think Julie Julie like stands there and asks them. I think Julie actually is there for that bit because she talks to them. So unless it's a very sophisticated piece of programming and they've just programmed many different answers and bits of banter in between, I think she was actually there for that bit, which is weird. I liked when Justin said, you dig, to Julie. Shane said, expect the unexpected. Yep, he knows what's going down. The diary session thing is weird though. Like, for those who don't know, basically they each have like 10 minutes in the diary room and they get asked a set of 10 questions, and they're very fixed questions each week. I think it's the same questions each week, it seemed to be to me. And they go, basically the housemates have to read out their own questions. It's not like on BBUK when there's a few of them in the room and it's a bit of fun. It's like really weird. It's like, then it's like you have 2 minutes left and they have to answer the questions. I don't know, it's really weird. And the whole thing is fake ass because they're all like trying to get America on saying, oh, America, can you do this? America, I don't know, it's weird. I like it, but I just don't like the way it's like an hour and a half long and it's, you have to skip through loads of people like Whitney and Shane and Danielle. Boring. That's what happened in the second one. Oh yeah, I've put can't they cut the silences out, because it's like this person sitting in a chair, it's like, can you sit in the middle of the chair? It's like, oh, it's really dry. Justin said in the second sessions the people he can trust is looking pretty meagre. He called out all brown nosers, which is a classic Big Brother. He's saying America baby. I prefer it if you talk about America if you call them baby afterwards. And he also said, I've got my lawnmower and I'm about to cut the grass. That's good. And he said he's got his cooking strategy on lockdown. You can't argue with that. Just ask Vinnie Jones. Alex, I know people have said stuff about her diary room. In fact, I've heard loads of podcasts slagging off Alex's diary rooms, but I didn't think she was that bad as what people said, because I heard them slagging her off before I saw her diary room. She's quite shrill. Her sister's shrill as well. I've written here, I love Jason, Justin, Chrissy and Neely as they all have life experiences and pop culture references. Well, so in the last set of DRs I watched, Morgan looks really old. She looks like a pageant mum. She wears too much makeup. I know she's trying to wear a lot of makeup to look different to Alex, but still. Morgan said, "I'm notorious for word vomit." I think she apologised to her mum for inventing the ball smashers. I thought Morgan actually came across quite well. Jason said his strategy was cleaning. These people are like mongrels. And Jason said, "America is my tightest ally." True that. I'm tired of Jason getting all the rewards, although I do want Jason to stay. So I think Jason's quite lucky, because I think, you know how we always like support an underdog, but somehow he's got away with being the overdog and we're still supporting him, and it's just purely because he's so charming and funny. He just gets away with it. So I just wonder if it will last forever. Not forever, but throughout the whole game or not. But it's not Jason's fault about the outside contact. He said contract. He didn't make the rules, you know, so he's just rolling with the punches. I don't blame him. I hope he wins. Hope he wins 250k. And he said America's our 7th alliance member. True. And that made me think, how did Shane get to be in the late night jamboree? He's so boring. Ugh. God. Oh yeah, so here's the different vetoes that Scott had to pick from as part of his reward from America, which actually is a poison chalice. So Scott had to pick between 3 vetoes. It's the Diamond Power veto, where the winner can save themselves and choose the person who gets renominated. So that's like really hardcore, like when Matt used the Diamond Power veto to evict Kathy. And the double veto, so 2 people win a veto. None of these things are good for Scott's game. Or the Boomerang veto, which means 1 person can use it twice. I don't really know what that means, and I don't think they did either. It's not a very good care package, because they all fuck Scott, but that's why we gave it to Scott. Well done, America. Finally, you're pulling your weight. Scott told Jason that he was coming after Shane. Jason's like, "Don't worry, I got you. I know how to play this game." And then immediately went and told Shane what Scott had said. Okay. Yeah, because Scott wants to be the last person standing from the 4 horsemen, just like Drew and Cowboy. No, just Drew. Cowboy was second. It was Whitney's birthday. She's only 22. Fucking hell, no wonder she's so boring. She's barely an amoeba. And not an amoeba, an embryo. She is pretty much an amoeba, though. Oh my God. Scott's striptease. Who encouraged him to do it? What sick fuck encouraged this? It was, Jesus Christ. I think he's made me lesbian. The white Y-fronts were a risk, I must admit, on his part. But on the little live feed highlights bit, Jason did a striptease. That was amazing. His body is quite... It's wrong to fancy Jason, but I like his body because it's like... I don't know, it's like a little boy, isn't it? And, oh God, that sounds wrong. And I like his yellow and blue. That can't be underpants. I must have been like swimming trunks he had on, but that was hilarious. He was proper like grinding on Whitney. That was funny. So then the have-nots were announced, and they were Danielle, Shelby, and Alex. Sexist. Shelby was annoyed because Danielle and Shane were having have-not sex on the trampoline. I was going to try and work that into the title, but I think it's quite unworkable. That is a bit gross. Having sex in a have-not room, I suppose it's like having sex in like public toilet or something, isn't it? It's like when Marco on CBB, or was that even CBB? No, BBUK, when he said he was going to have sex in the diary and chair. It's like that, isn't it? It's like filth. Yeah, quite good, really. So then Scott put Neely and Chrissy up. Boo. I like Neely and Chrissy. And then Neely said she doesn't care if she gets a tinfoil veto or a cubic zirconia veto. She's doing a play on diamond power veto. What other types of veto could she have? Copper, iron, steel. Oh, there's some good ideas there. And then America nominated Danielle. Now, I'm sure there's a story behind this, which I've not been privy to because I've not looked on Twitter for about a week. But America nominated Danielle. So why? Because she seems quite inoffensive to me, but I know there's more of a story to this than I thought. Unless it's a classic slut shame, because Danielle slut shame. Hold on, there is a title here. Because she's fucking Shane. Maybe they are slut shaming her. Do you think? I don't know. It could be that. I could be completely wrong, but it has been known. And Morgan said she was very happy that side of the house got nominated at last. Yeah, America, you thick fucks. No offence. But why are you nominating someone who's actually in Jason's alliance if you like Jason so much? Stupid. Nominate Shelby or Morgan or Alex. Why nominate someone who's on Jason's side and who's on Justin's side and who's on Chrissy's side? Stupid. So then I saw another little live feed highlights bit. And something's been going on. I remember hearing this a while back, so this must be old news, about them hiding some chocolate that belongs to Shelby, I think it was. But the upshot was someone had rooted through Chrissy's dirty panties. This was very reminiscent of in CBB when Stephanie Davis's dirty panties were strewn on a table by Darren Day, and she was basically slut shamed for her dirty panties. So I did feel for Chrissy because she was crying. She said, I put a lot of stuff out there on social media, but that's not really who I am. But when you root through my dirty panties, that is who I am. She didn't quite say that, but it was words to that effect. So this is because that was basically all the content I had, thanks to Ren's Race again, by the way. But then Dr. Detroit hooked me up with a veto, which is really cool. I never watched like a whole veto like this before, like the whole thing from start to finish. And although these vetoes are quite shit, like it's quite good to see like the way it works, like how Big Brother like tells them where to stand and all that sort of stuff. And it was on the quad cam, which is quite good because then you can see like people's reactions, like when Chrissy got knocked out, like her reaction and Danielle's reaction. It's quite interesting. I like it. It makes you feel like all powerful, like you're in Sliver or something. So the veto was you had to do a puzzle basically. It was like kind of like Tetris or like those little puzzles you used to do in the little square that you just shift the pieces around or whatever. Jason was hosting. And they had to like pick people to face off against. It was one of those, and there was like a red curtain that was around the puzzle, so after they'd done the puzzle, like Ted obviously come out around the back to like fix up the next puzzle. It was so cheap but it was good with the quad cam because you could see like a camera view from above, so you could actually see who was doing the puzzle the quickest, which was good. It did look cheap as fuck. So then Danielle beat Scott. Alex beat Neely. Alex was really fast. I wouldn't have faced off against her. She was really, really good. Justin beat Danielle, not sure how. And Danielle was really upset, going, oh, why didn't you throw it to me? And Justin's like, maybe he wanted you on the block. Who knows? And Danielle basically went and did like a cry in the bush, except there was no bush. So it was just like, just a sad little pitiful cry. It was stupid because there's still like a double veto in play because that's what Scott chose to go with. So there was still a chance someone could have used it on Danielle, although admittedly quite a slim chance. So the last two players standing won the double veto, which was Alex and Justin. I was pleased that Justin won. This was a disgrace though. Jason gives them the veto. It's just the veto bit. No string. You telling me they can't even afford a fucking string for the veto? I got a veto here. I got it for my birthday, and mine has got a string on it. If I can afford the string, CBS can afford to put the vetoes on a fucking string. You tight fuckers. Oh, here's your veto. Oh, what should I do with it? Put it in my pocket. Shove it down my pants. Put it in my bra. Give me a fucking string for fuck's sake. Honestly, I've never seen anything so cheap in my life. Even Jason went, oh, it's not quite saying about the necklace, is it? No, I saw a masterful bit of strategy at this exact point. Scott said to Jason, oh, I'm down to my last 9 fags. I don't think you say fags in America, but that's what we say. I think that's something else in America, actually. It was something Jason wouldn't approve of. But yeah, Scott goes to Jason, I'm down to my last 9 cigs. And Jason went, don't worry, I'm still here. The convenience store is still working. And I thought, oh my God, that is such a good strategy. Like, Scott ain't going to want to put Jason out if Jason's got the only fags in the house. It's masterful. It's just the way he said it. It was like, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, if I'm not here, you're not getting any fags, so fuck you, mate. It was just like, I was like, oh, Jason. Sometimes Jason pulls out a bit of strategy like that. It's like, that is good. And then other times he just, like, disappoints you. He's all over the place, but I like that. It was good. So then I watched the renom ceremony and veto ceremony, which I watched on, I probably shouldn't say actually. And Justin used his veto on Chrissy, which I think was good. I presume all of this was prearranged because Scott wanted to get Danielle and Shane up. But Scott had to fuck's sake. Scott had to put someone up to replace Chrissy, so he put Shane up as a replacement. So we were left with Shane, Danielle, and Neely on the block. Now, I don't know about you, but I could not care less who goes out of those three. No, actually, I don't want Neely to go because she seems like a good soul. Shane and Danielle are just like, oh, they are the most boring housemates on the planet. Like, even when they're having sex, I don't find it interesting. It's just like, why do they keep showing it as well? It's disgusting. I barely watch any of this show, and all I ever see is them two in bed grinding on each other. I'm no prude, but come on. So I'm presuming that Danielle will go because, well, let's be honest, she's black, she's a woman, you do the maths. And America will probably vote for her as well if they voted for her to put her up. So, same old story. But then I say that, but then we did lose Cornbread and Monte the first 2 weeks, so I can't complain too much. Jason's still in the house, Justin's still in the house, Chrissy's still in the house, although she does seem like a bit of a buzzkill. So, you know, it's not all bad. There's a good divide. There's people to hate, people to like. So I think on the whole it's good. I just wish there was more of it to watch. It was in a better format. You know, there's things you could improve, definitely. But it's nice just to have some Big Brother on at this time of year, to be honest. I appreciate it. Keeps us warm until CVB. So thanks so much for listening. Follow me on Twitter, LightUpVM. You can follow the podcast's Twitter. It's BB on Blast. And if you could, if you could follow that, that'd be helpful. What else? Read my book, First Aid Kit Girl. It's about to blow up. And what else? Don't know. Send me feedback on this podcast. Someone said they didn't like me swearing on the podcast, which is, I do feel bad about that, but I really hate podcasts where they don't swear, especially when they like are trying hard not to swear. I think it's awful. I'd much rather just hear someone swear. There's no watershed in my house. It's just, it's fun to swear. I like it, if anything. So, yeah, apologies if you don't like my swearing, but, you know, tough shit. Thanks so much for listening. I do really appreciate it, whoever you are, whatever you like. If you like this, if you take time from your ears to listen to this, I appreciate it so much. So, thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.